Let's get back into playing.
Once upon a time there was a kingdom full of flowers and rainbows, where the sun shone all the time and there was loads of that goody-goody, lovey-dovey good people stuff going on. There, the alliance of abominably good people lived in unearned wealth and prosperity.
Ah, fair enough. Thank you, Indy, as well.
But there was a path leading to a different place there. At the end of this path was a rock. There was a cave carved in this rock in which the absolute evil lived. It wasn't a grubby, damp cave smelling of muck and mildew, but a deep, dark dungeon, so dark that even darkness itself was afraid of it. It was home to numerous innocent monsters who enjoyed a happy, contented existence.
Look at the unicorn.
In complete harmony with their environment.
Oh no, poor unicorn.
The sickening, sweet-smelling good visited this underworld in search of treasure and experience points. Many monsters found this to be the death of them, but much worse, the absolute evil's treasures were being stolen. One day, just as a few more heroes had finished plundering its dungeon, the absolute evil decided it had had enough and decided to do something new, something quite monstrous. Go to the surface.
Huh?
The Alliance tried to resist, but the approaching horde just flowed over them like an angry wave of axes, teeth, and bad breath.
So any hobby store then.
Battles, the absolute evil
or gamer store, I should say.
For the Alliance's capital.
Except you also have to throw in some bad body odor. Accurate? Yes. Home key? There's actually a use for the home key to be used now. Holy shit. I never thought I'd see a game where you actually use the home key.
After countless battles, the forces of the absolute evil reached the Alliance capital, the King's Kingdom. The lovable remnants of the forces of good had come here to make ready for the final battle. The evil would pay a high price indeed to storm those fortress walls, or so they thought. Suddenly, a rumble rose from deep within the earth. Stones burst asunder, revealing an ancient path into the depths. Out of the depths of Stygian darkness arises the invincible evil. With earth-shaking steps, the unstoppable evil began its trek towards the front. In the terribly improbable event that it may have forgotten how that works, a formidable help function has been provided.
I don't know what you are. What are you? Why can I not click on you? Can I zoom in? Can. I don't know what you are, but I want to pick you up. Damn it.
The presence of the absolute evil was also reflected in the land itself. Grass withered, and in places the ground tore open to reveal bubbling lava.
Hey, it's free terraforming.
Stand the aura of the ultimate evil and beat a hasty retreat. A few of the Alliance units.
I love the narrator as well.
A determined absolute evil marched towards them in order to strike them down with its mighty weapon.
Reach the front. Pick up the badge. Oh, over there.
Absolute evil had discovered a medal. These legendary awards ensured a creature could be made even more powerful. Only one downside, as creatures could only weigh 100 tons. Eyes ablaze with greed, the insidious evil gazed upon the blood-drenched battlefield. Here the last defenders of good would die, and an age of evil begin. Projectiles from the Alliance's catapults darkened the sky, but the Horde's fighting skills were at their best in darkness, if they survived.
Don't know what you are, but
Nothing
goodbye.
and no one could stop the invincible evil.
Yes, yes, yes. Up, up. Oh, I forgot this thing's a thing. This thing is indeed a thing. I don't know how I came up with that conclusion of words.
And the absolute evil took yet another hero to the slaughtering block.
Oh, you poor, poor dwarf.
Defeating good was as easy as taking candy from a baby for the unstoppable evil.
This place looks important.
Absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the east with the greatest of ease. Now, only one tiny camp offers any resistance to the absurdly evil evil. And even that will be able to hold out for much longer.
Simple fun. Oh, you poor sod.
Nothing and no one could stop the invincible evil.
Imagine being a farmer and then being told, hey, that pitchfork you've got, that's what you're running into battle with. What?
Absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the west with the greatest of ease. The defenders in front of the city had been beaten to a pulp and defeated. Now the time had come to attack King's Ending, the final battle beckoned. The city gate was firmly barricaded by the Alliance's archers, but the absolute evil would not allow itself to be held up by such a ridiculous impediment. So, go get them! Destroy them now! Oh yes, sorry, stay in character. The absolute evil used its all-powerful magic to eliminate the archers and open the gate to the city. Using its legend, wait for it, dairy powers, the absolute evil
Dairy
destroyed
powers?
the impediment with ease and simultaneously eliminated a whole group of defenders. True story. The road to the capital was now clear. The absolute evil did not hesitate for even 1 nanosecond.
Although I very much doubt that these guys know what a nanosecond is. Just saying.
The insidious evil entered King's Ending. A small, pitiful group of defenders stood in its way. Suddenly, the doors of several houses in the city opened, and with a loud roar, defenders bore down on the rather surprised. An ambush.
Oh, this isn't lasting long for them now, is it?
The invincible evil had crushed the defenders. King's Ending had been defeated. At least, that's what he thought.
Uh-oh. Absolute evil.
Suddenly,
You're not
the
going
final
wrong there
heroes of
for
the Alliance
farmers.
emerged from nowhere. Another ambush? Now, this was becoming very boring. But wait, this time it was different. Instead,
The
heroes
absurdly
raised their hands
evil.
and
I like
started
that.
singing an incomprehensible chant.
I know heroes come around and are here to ruin it again.
Well, actually, it bode the arrival of good things, great things, unless you happen to be the absolute evil. Somewhere in the depths of the dungeon, the ultimate evil awoke. It did not know what had happened, nor why it had awoken, but it longed for revenge.
Revenge it is then. Hold down shift key to build multiple items in
The last
succession.
remaining heroes of the country joined forces.
Curse you,
to
heroes.
cast a powerful banishment spell. The absolute evil disappeared from sight with a threatening gesture, and a faint whispered, "I'll be back," could be heard coming from its lips. The absolute evil had been banished, and its essence shattered into several pieces. Its reign of terror had ended. The good people of the overworld rejoiced, and an era of peace began for the Alliance. The evil creatures were driven back into the underground, doomed to serve as cannon fodder for pleasure-seeking adventurers. Meanwhile, secreted away in the world's most inaccessible places,
This game is nice.
the last
Yeah.
remains of the absolute evil were resting, never again to see the light of the overworld. Until today, that is. Somewhere deep under the earth, the ultimate evil awoke.
The poor monsters. The ring. Press R to rotate the work unit to be built. I like these little
And
helpful
the
things.
hand of terror arose, controlled by the ultimate evil. Come on, hand of terror, arise, damn you! Methinks that exploring the surrounding area would be a sensible strategy. However, to do this, light would be required.
LMAO.
Still not bright enough. An old throne room was revealed by the light. The circumstances remained a mystery. The hand of terror flew through the throne room, following each and every thought the ultimate evil had. After a few flying sessions, the ultimate evil was able to control the hand with ease. The time had come to call forth creatures who were completely devoted to it.
Little
to do its
snots.
dirty work. Little snots were the dregs of each and every dungeon and spent their time taking care of it. The expansion-mad evil hired one snot on the spot. The first little snot appeared. It was completely ready to work in the dungeon and to crawl in the dust before the ultimate
Okay, yes.
Little
Thank you
snots
for the
were
lurk,
important to
Yotha.
the ultimate evil because they took
Been
care of
called
many
immediately to a
important
meeting.
little things,
Fair enough,
such
I
as
understand.
excavating new areas. The psionically gifted evil could sense the presence of something important that was buried to the south. It instructed its little snots to dig in that direction. As quick as a fart, the little snot made his way to the marked position and began to dig. Behold, the creatures of the overjoyed evil had apparently been much more industrious than it had thought. A great dungeon was revealed behind the wall. Everything was already in place. Doors, traps, a well-filled treasury. Wait, treasury? And where, if you please, is this treasury? Oh well. One can't expect too much of these mindless little snots. First of all, some gold had to be dug out to make space for a treasury to be created. The hand of terror swiftly marked a few small gold veins so that the little snots could excavate them.
I like games like this, to be honest with you. All RTS games. It's a shame we don't see many of them anymore. They are calm. I mean, if they love what they're doing, there's no point in putting terror into them. They're just doing their thing. At least the graphics for these guys are a bit better.
As soon as the gold vein was selected, a little snot immediately set out to mine valuable gold for the greedy evil.
Oh, there's a little thing on his hand that tells you what's going on. Ah. I see, I see. I'm not gonna lie.
Once most of the gold had been mined, the Hand of Terror quickly created a treasury on the spot so that the precious metal could be safely stored.
I'll just wait for this to be broken down. Go on. I'd ping you. I need to go and get ready for work. No worries. Is it gonna collapse or something? I'm not sure. You have a good stream. You have a good work day, Silves.
Again, the thoughts of the confused evil wandered off into the far yonder. The clever evil mastered this task with flying colors. From now on, Little Snots could use the treasury to store mined gold. It was then at the greedy evil's disposal whenever more rooms needed to be built or new creatures recruited. Little Snots were all well and good, but were too weak and cowardly to defend the dungeon. Since it was not able to defend itself, the ultimate evil would have to hire some orcs. But they would require food. Liquid food. Well, beer to be precise. So the next important thing to build was a brewery. And that would require some space to be created.
I would have thought that the brewery wouldn't be the first thing you would
were not really
build.
putting their backs into the work. Might a hearty slap from the Hand of Terror change that? The sadistic evil encouraged its creature to work a little faster, with a friendly but not at all gentle slap.
Alrighty.
There was now an area cleared for the brewery site, and with quick finger snaps from the Hand of Terror, the room stood ready.
There we are.
But the recently built brewery lacked a brewing copper. With a sigh of resignation, the overworked evil set about taking care of that too.
Is there a way I can rotate this thing?
The hard-working evil effortlessly built a brewing copper so that delicious beer could be brewed as soon as possible. One of the little snots started working on the brewing copper. The nostalgic evil banished all thoughts of Oktoberfest and brass bands. Those would have to wait. More important tasks had to be completed first. Both beer and gold were now available in the dungeon, so it was time to hire some creatures to defend against greedy heroes or whatever else snuck around underground. At present, it was only simple orcs declaring undying loyalty to the ultimate evil. The rest of the horde was scattered to the winds.
Okay. Shows how many orcs that I've got. Okay.
Orcs were defensive close combat specialists, capable of dealing with many opponents. However, they were very vulnerable to ranged attacks. The dungeon of the expansion-mad evil grew and prospered, but unfortunately, it had reached the maximum possible population it could currently manage. Now a creature would have to be thrown into the bottomless pit before any others could be brought in. An eerie gong rang through the hall. It did not bode well for the ultimate evil's treasury stocks, for at each sounding of the gong, the creatures would collect their undeserved wages. However, there was little it could do about this, as it was chained to the throne. Thus, it had to give free rein to its servants' desires, for the time being at least. Suddenly, one of the repellent evil's servants became very thirsty. This was typical of a troop member of the unanonymous alcoholics known as the Horde. The Dipso made his way to the nearest brewery to quench his thirst. A thirsty orc arrived at the brewery. Eager and slavering, he started demolishing the alcohol-hoarding evil's stock of beer.
I wonder if... It's fine. I've got 4 regular orcs.
The creature disappeared into the pit of uselessness with a long drawn and gradually diminishing. This particular.
Oh, shh. Saber, hello, hello, how are you? Thank you for the biddies, and have a squeak.
From the depths and declared allegiance.
How are you this time zone?
The first step towards the creation of a powerful army had been taken. The profound evil had had him.
Add jail? What do I need to add jail for?
To move to the surface to
Oh,
dish that is best served cold.
that jail. Okay. I'm sorry.
Some Alliance members were bound to be guarding the entrance to the overworld. A fine appetizer for a vengeful.
I wasn't agile. I'm sorry. I've done all I can to try and remove as much ads as I can, but there's nothing I can do. Everything else is just as it is for now. Saberwolf, hello! I hope you're having a wonderful time zone as well. Now I get Silver while she isn't live. Oh wait, she only just left as well. I heard Saber and wondered why I heard my name, so here I am. I mean, you're both wonderful sabers. Dig south? I don't want to dig south. I might want my nuggies. What about letting just anyone have these nuggies, you know?
The nameless evil's creatures came upon a spider's nest during their search for an entrance to the overworld. It would take more than one orc to sort that out. The abysmal evil used the Hand of Terror to grab several of the creatures that were still completely inexperienced at fighting and threw them onto the spider's nest. A horrified expression crossed the ultimate evil's face when it discovered that all the chickens from its chicken farm had been eaten.
Pardon me.
What were its creatures going to eat now? Wait a moment. Chickens? Oh, whoops, that's another game. Got confused.
Kill the spiders.
The spiders dropped like flies. The strategically well-versed evil patted itself on the back, proud that it had led its troops into battle with such a throng. And by led, I just simply mean chucking them at the enemy. The basics of a dungeon were now in place. However, the brewery was puny and didn't really have room to store beer barrels in, and the treasury was also anything but impressive in size. Quickly, the expansion-hungry evil set out to enlarge its dungeon. Payday!
Expand my dungeon, hey? Chance of landing critical hits plus 5%.
The little snots found a healing potion in a hidden room. This was able to restore one of the ultimate evil's creatures to full health.
There we are.
The evil has awoken, but its brothers are still asleep.
Huh? What on earth was that? That's not in my script. What a weirdo. No matter. We'd better get back to concentrating on the dungeon.
The case, I hope everyone here is having a wonderful time zone. Anyone got anything special planned? I wonder if building more
The little
breweries
snots
will
found a
give me...
healing potion in a hidden room. This was able to restore one of the ultimate evil's creatures to full health.
You're all pretty healthy for now. This is cozy though. Not really. This is no. Yeah, I like to try and make my streams nice and cozy. At least that's what I've got planned for it anyway. Don't really have any plans to expand any more out this way. Much rather let it slowly go in. Hydrate, no worries. Thank you for the hydrate. Why is this map so... Ooh. Luckily I can push the home button, which is rather nice. what would give me more things? If you find badges in your dungeon, you can simply pick them up with the Hand of Terror and drop it on a monster to give it the badge. Alternatively, you can also throw the monster onto the badge. Nice. Wait, this is a dungeon builder, isn't it? How have I missed this game? Not a clue. Mokhtar, the Lucky Finder. You chance to land critical hits. There you are.
Of late, one of the creatures had come up with a plan to create a trade union and go on strike for better working conditions. Once he remembered exactly what the ultimate evil would do to him, the idea was quickly shelved.
I love the little things like this. I remember in one game very similar to this. It's called The War for the Overworld. One of the things that they said was, "Ugh, Overlord, one of your minions is French." And it surprised me. Surprised too. I didn't know it. And now I see it. I like it. Yes, Dungeons 2. Dungeons 1 was a bit yeah. But Dungeons 2 is definitely fun. I want to slowly expand and not go completely insane. Because I has a thought. I don't think it is a good thought in and of its own. Damn it, it doesn't expand the... Damn it. Oh well.
The little snots found a healing potion in a hidden room. This was able to restore one of the ultimate evil's creatures to full health.
Okay, so what is this one? New area discovered. Efficiency of rooms. Rooms have an efficiency rating that shows how well work can be performed inside. You should try and ensure that this room is surrounded by walls as far as possible, and they have ideally also been upgraded. Pro tip, efficiency can increase even beyond 100%. Ah. Efficiency. Aha. So it is possible for that to happen. Okay, okay. What's this room? 110%. Evenness
A
accrued.
huge monstrosity loomed out of the darkness
Required for the
on
next
6,
level.
no, 8 legs. This dungeon's human guards had been ancient history for a long while. Now it was home to a huge spider and her brood. Would Sam and Frodo escape it and continue their journey to Mount Doom, or was this the end of the ring bearer? Hang on a minute, that's not the right text. Where were we? Oh yes, a huge spider, henceforth called the Spider Queen. It would be necessary to eliminate the Spider Queen before the Horde could... The Spider Queen sent forth a wave of her children. Of course, the ultimate evil was fully aware of this danger and immediately prepared to defend itself against them. At least, that's what I heard.
I love the Lord of the Rings reference. Truly
The vile
amazing.
perversion, once called the Spider Queen, had nothing more with which she could fight the Horde. Later, the sensitive evil would have her innards made into a lava lamp. The way to the surface was open. Now it was time to put those vengeance plans into practice. The vile evil wanted to take this opportunity to utter a really sinister laugh. But unfortunately, its physical state made this unviable. Instead, it asked the narrator to do a bit of sinister laughter on its behalf. Oh well, here goes. Deep breath.
Love
Once
how
the ultimate
memeing
evil
this
had
game
escaped
is.
from the depths, still fettered to the throne, it traveled to wreak terrible vengeance on those who had done this. heavily supported by its little snots. The first target was Paladin Robert, now King of the Alliance. He had withdrawn to the quiet surroundings of his hunting lodge. There, he would be the perfect victim.
Waste points? Huzzard! Waste points does exactly what it's on the tin.
According to scouts, King Robert spent most of his time strolling around his hunting lodge garden reciting poetry. Soon his poetry would turn into mournful ballads. The vengeful evil thirsted to defeat the Alliance's king and mount his head on the wall as a trophy. Whoops, of course, I really mean that he wanted to take all of King Robert's cookies away. Better play it safe, or the age classification folks will be after me. Before that, however, the ultimate evil had to do a
Demon
bit of work on the dungeon.
self-centering himself.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to fund even a small army made up of a few orcs.
Fire 3 orcs. That's my objective. Okay. At least I'm able to backfill some of these things now. That was the big issue I was once having. Fill that back up. And the reason is simple. I can put a treasury right here. Then I can put a brewery here.
The first brewery was completed. Soon beer would be flowing like a river, and an Oktoberfest atmosphere would pervade all. Would the ultimate evil put the beer baron out of business? Ugh, such a duff reference.
Stop attacking my heart!
Your throne room is under attack.
I know, but there's nothing more I can do about it at this stage.
The warmongering evil had hired the first orc. As ancient wisdom says, violence is a solution, usually the only one.
There's also looting and pillaging. Armor. There you go. And there we are.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. The time to attack appeared to be right. On the surface, in the tavern of a small, miserable village, some adventurers gathered. They were acquiring Dutch courage for their visit to the dungeon by downing several beers. The dungeon had to be destroyed. The heroes didn't know what had hit them, as several orcs bore down from nowhere and annihilated them. This group of heroes had plundered their last dungeon, but there would be more.
Daylight. Yeah, I know the feeling. Alright. What can we do? Destroy the Alliance village. Alright. Destruction it is. Come on. No, these orcs are rather tough. I am rather surprised about that.
A rat's nest has been unearthed.
Need you guys back here. So then I can get rid of the rats. Get rid of the rats, and then I can do all the other stuff that I need to do. Alrighty. Unless there's another rat infestation. Off we go. You poor villagers. Look at yous. You tried so hard.
Uh-oh. A spider's nest has been unearthed.
Spider's nest. Alright, give me a sec. Spider's nest was uncovered now, wasn't it? What are you? Hit points, 25. There we are. Now, is there anything else that's going to be uncovered? It's very much plausible. I apologize if you guys can hear the dogs going off their tits. No more rats, no more spiders. Anything else? I don't think so. Alright, time for some more violence. Even if that orc dies, I can replace him. Daka, hello, hello, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful time, sir. Yeah, evil one. Tiny Penguin has been left unsupervised and is now evil. It's been a nice day? Nice.
A delicious rumble announced the fact that the village's last house had crashed to the ground. Ha! There would be no more heroes meeting there to seek out the dungeon of the destruction-hungry evil. The hunting lodge of King Robert lay in the north. It was there that the ultimate evil would finally get its long-awaited revenge.
Yeah, I only just raided out yesterday.
Maybe it should first visit the cave to the west, inhabited by a clan of goblins, where the cunning evil could do a little negotiating.
Apart from the dungeon and the overworld, there are also other cells, vaults, and dungeons. They do not have their own mini-maps, however, you can use the region panel on the left. Okay.
The goblin leader prostrated himself joyfully before the ultimate evil, and immediately dispatched 2 goblins into its dungeon with a few plans for a new room, a tinkerer's cave. This was built as quickly as possible.
There we are.
The Tinkerer's Cave was built. It could, however, only be used as a warehouse, as it lacked the workshop that the insidious evil's goblins needed. Quick as a flash, Evil placed a creator mat in the Tinkerer's Cave. A sparkling new creator mat graced the Tinkerer's Cave of the expansion-hungry evil. A goblin would be able to work well in here, producing toolboxes. A few of these boxes would now be needed in order to invent a trap. The moody evil waited patiently.
Okay, so that'll start doing its thing, which is nice. Once I bring them inside, they should be able to heal if slowly.
As the goblins were, their creativity more than made up for this. They proudly presented the treacherous evil with their plan for a devious trap. With a silent, evil cackle, it quickly buckled down to setting the trap.
There they are. I guess it really does want to be there. Okay. There we are. There you go. You can work on that one.
Job done. The trap was finished and ready to be found by a hero. This is going to be so much fun. Just at that moment, a particularly powerful dwarf warrior appeared in the dungeon. How had he suddenly arrived at this precise time was indeed most odd, but his presence was more than welcome. He was going to be a guinea pig for the trap. Even this strong dwarf warrior didn't stand a chance against the treacherous traps and powerful monsters of the invincible evil. He bit the dust. So much for a game of dwarves. The dungeon's defenses were now clearly much improved, but the hunting lodge still remained well protected and impregnable. There was nothing that the ultimate evil could do. The task was impossible. So the evil withdrew, bent and broken, let feelings of revenge ebb away, and instead took up looking after those cute, teeny weeny trees. What are they called again? Bonsai, yes, that's it. The end. Pretty unsatisfactory, huh? Of course, that wasn't the end. In reality, the indefatigable evil paid the Goblin Cave another little visit. The Goblin leader would hopefully spit out something useful after a few more slabs.
Beat up the Goblin Chieftain? Why am I doing this so much? Oh, I'm evil.
Couldn't wait to explore the further possibilities of the Tinkerer's Cave. In particular, a hospital seemed a useful way to cure its ailing units. It set about asking for this to be researched.
Alright, time for me to, what's the word I'm thinking of here? Negotiate? Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Not gonna lie, I love how when I conquer certain areas, the landscape will change. That's a nice little touch. I enjoy it.
A few hard slaps were enough to motivate the leader of the goblins to help the ultimate evil. As it transpired, there was an old tunnel which had been previously used as an escape route. This connected the Goblin Cave with the vaults of the hunting lodge. The goblin leader voluntarily made a goblin assassin available to the hard-hitting evil to help infiltrate the lodge.
I researched the hospital. Lead your goblin assassin safely through the underground.
The cheerful evil was pleased with this support. An assassin was a decent melee fighter, but its actual strength lay in its ability to make itself invisible. This was, of course, tested out immediately. Despite the powerful invisibility skill, it was advisable for the ultimate evil to be cautious. Some opponents had such highly trained observation skills that they were actually able to see invisible units. A locked door prevented the assassin from progressing. It would have taken a long time for him to have opened it with sheer brute force using weapons. Thankfully, he had a suitable skill with which he could deactivate doors, and more importantly, traps. The on-the-ball evil recognized that the warrior princess there was extremely powerful. The goblin assassin would be best advised to avoid any contact with her. There are enemies in your dungeon. A Fumblebottle was being forced to make miserable repairs in the lodge. A brief feeling of what it thought might be sympathy passed through the sensitive evil, but this actually turned out to be a mighty belch. Naturally, it would free the useful Fumblebottle anyway.
Alright, so you're fine, and I need to get you guys back into the dungeon. I'm just gonna wait for his thing to go back up. What are you? Fumblebottle. There we go. If I could reach, I would.
Elated by the assassin's attempt at rescuing it, the Gobobot joined the horde and succeeded in showing its tormentors a real hot time. Its ability to more or less ignore range damage and set fire to large areas would come in very handy.
Violence! It's like that's the only real thing left. There we are.
The lodge was completely destroyed. The vengeful evil gave itself a very self-satisfied pat on the back. The time was right to concentrate on King Robert. He was in his renowned garden reciting his much less renowned love poems. The lyrically challenged evil had no time for poetry and would soon make this tangibly clear to him.
What's this? Damage, 15%. Alright, let's just bring you guys back in here so you guys can heal up. I think that'd be the best thing for it.
It's payday.
What are you? Don't know. This thing gets fast for whatever reason. I wasn't expecting something like this to be fast. Now, is this gonna work? Hey, come back here, you. I ain't done with you. Oh. But you are done. Never mind. Off you go. It's even got a blood bag leading to him. I love it. And it's even got techno babble written on the walls as well. Well, when you got goblins involved, you're gonna have a few things. Waiting for you to heal up. Whoops. Off you go. You want to repair things? damned. I like these goblins. Essex, the Destroyer. Bring him here as well. No. Where is that big guy? Why can I not remember his... Kilox. Oh, Quixen. Quixen. I like how they're able to just right themselves back up.
Roses are red and later go brown. Give me your heart, else I'll steal it and your guard.
Charming, I guess. Oh, what the hell? This bridge! It's making effects that it shouldn't. God damn. Right, time to kill him.
The king was accompanied by a pixie who was able to cast powerful healing magic. Any direct attack would be suicidal. Mercifully, the omniscient and helpful narrator was at hand. He pointed out to the impatient evil that the pixie went off from time to time in order to check that all was well, and much more importantly, eat a supper in a little camp to the south. The annoying little pixie had spoken her last healing spell. The crafty-minded evil sculpted a fan from her wings. Now it was time to look for King Robert and ensure his early demise.
Goodbye.
King Robert fell, and the ultimate evil had received its well-deserved revenge. But there were still many more heroes out there who deserved to bite the dust. Their time would come.
Yeah.
The demigod Krotos, one of the sniveling cowards who had banished the ultimate evil, had just marched his alliance army out of the swamplands to fight the snake-like Nagas. The ultimate evil wanted to teach him the full futility of war by ensuring his untimely passing. Besides, the Nagas could prove to be valuable allies.
As much as I'd love to continue, 2.5 hours, I think it's pretty solid. Ooh. Alright, I think we'll call it a day for now.